everyone, it's Sandy Diana, and I am making a child's hospital gown. I have a former student who has a chronic illness, and her mom called me or sent me a message and wanted to know if I could make a matching gown with a mask so that she could have a variety for while she's in the hospital. She has this chronic disease and it flares up, and right now she's having another flare up, and they don't really know how long she'll be in the hospital. Anyway, I've never done it before, and I thought I'm going to just go ahead and give it a try and make this, and I'm going to give it to her, and she can prance around, and if her mom wants to buy more later, she can buy more later, but I'm just going to make it and give it to her just because I want to brighten her day. Anyway, I'm also using my new Coverstitch, Juki Coverstitch machine to do this. So I'm going to show you what I've gotten done so far. I've already cut the pattern out. I've already ironed my little interfacing onto it for so where I put the snaps, and the hospital gown has some snaps right here, and so I've done that, and I've actually done it on the sleeves also. And where did they go? There they are. So I've already done the sleeve portion where the snaps go, and I've used my Coverstitch machine. It's so amazing. So this is what it looks like on the inside. This is what it's going to look like on the outside. Very lightweight, not bulky at all. So when I go to put the snaps on there to hold on to for this for her gown, it'll just be as light as a feather, and at least that's what I'm hoping for. So right now I am going to show you what I'm doing. I am folding it down, and you go ahead and you iron it in place, the measurement that you want to have folded down for where you're going to want to stitch. So I'm just folding it down. It's like probably about 3/4 of an inch down, just enough, because you want to make sure that it's enough to hold the to support the snaps. And you guys have, I'm sure you've had a hospital gown on before, and there's not a lot of quality that goes in to making those hospital gowns. So I'm sure anything I do is going to be way better than what the ones that you would buy or have at the hospital would be. So plus this one's going to be super cute. I don't even know if she likes Minnie Mouse. I do know she likes pink. And this is something that I had on hand, and I thought I would make it out of it. So anyway, let's move you this direction, because I really want you to see this Coverstitch machine. It's so cool. I cannot believe I've sewn all my life, just about, and I've never owned one of these machines. Never thought to own one of these machines, because I really didn't know what machine you use to get that stitch from. So now I know, and I'm so excited because I'm going to use it all the time now. All right, so I'm learning. I'm just trying to make sure I don't mess it up. I don't really know if I can. I guess I can. You can mess any machine up. Like I said, I already have my measurement, and I'm just going to keep on stitching. I like to do all of the same things at the same time rather than stopping and starting. I don't like doing stuff like that. So I like to just make sure that I keep doing the same motion over and over again. I don't want to stitch the two together, but it's kind of curved right there. Anyway, who knows? Maybe this just might increase or add to what I'm already doing with my business. And I already make scrub caps, and something I can advertise and add to it. And maybe it's something that you've never thought about doing. And especially because I have a lot of this extra fabric left from making masks. And how cute. Make a little child's hospital gown. especially somebody that's got a chronic illness, it's going to be in the hospital. I have to remember, don't like run it off like a chain stitch like your serger does. This is the part where I have to remember to do this every single time. But you do this, and then you pull it out. And then there's the string that goes up underneath here is what you cut off. So there it is. It's not perfect, but it's as perfect as I'm gonna get it. And I'm excited about being able to use it. And I guess I can go back with my scissors and trim that, but it'll probably just fray on its own and go away after washings. But I'm just gonna clip them apart. And then I'm going to start putting it together. The next step I have to do though, is I've already made the straps. So the next part that I will do on this is to add the straps to it. And I won't use this again until I get ready to do the hem or the sides of it, the edges. And I'll do all of that on the same time. But right now, I'm going to go and put the straps on it to tie around the waist. And I did something extra little cute for hers. And of course, when I'm all done with it, I'm gonna monogram her initial on the front of it. You know, like Laverne and Shirley kind of initial, just A. It'll be so cute. And hopefully it will brighten her day. And I did change the pattern slightly. I'll tell you how I changed it. What I did was, I don't know about you. I've worn plenty of hospital gown. Being a breast cancer survivor, I have worn a lot of hospital gowns. And the one thing that I dislike about wearing the hospital gown is that not only do you not have, they're big, they're bulky, and they just look awful. I have the button on here. I need to go to the other machine, my other Juki. I went to the wrong sewing machine. I have too many to choose from. I guess that's a problem. I have too many to choose from. That was from where I just sewed the button on my other little outfit. I want to go over here to my Juki sewing machine. This is my Juki industrial machine. And no, I don't eat olives sitting here. I use that for weights. But I'm going to, can you see? There we go. Okay. And I've made my own bias tape. I've already pre-folded everything down. And now I'm just going to top stitch it down. So, but anyway, I was talking about the hospital gown ties. I always feel like that, you know, if somebody come along in the backside and pull that one string, you are flapping in the breeze. And I don't know. So I decided that, plus I wanted to make it cuter. To make her gown cuter, I made, instead of having just the tie to where it cuts off and it just ties in the back, one set of ties is going to come all the way around her waist and tie like a little bow in the front. And I just thought it would be cuter that way. Now this is going to be the one I have to cut in half. All right. So, like I said, I don't like to stop and start and do different tasks. I like to do the same task at the same time. It's more efficient that way. I feel like I ran off of that. It's way more efficient. Now this machine can go very fast as I can get it to go. I'm gonna let y'all see how fast this can go. All right, this is not fast forward or this is real time, not fast forward. So I didn't fast forward through the video right here. Just so that you know that, I did not fast forward through the video. That is how fast this machine can go. I guess you know now why I can make so many masks, how I've made so many masks. It's because I invested in this machine and I can whip right on through them. Man, if I'd had this when I made curtains, whoo, I might not have quit. All right, last time. And then I'll cut them apart and show you what they look like. And I would say that for a new beginner on sewing, you probably do need to do step by step. But I've been sewing for so long, I've learned how to group like items together, do like items together, and it's like you do a lot of tasks, a lot of the same task, and it seems like you're not getting anywhere, but you really do get somewhere after a while. Okay, that's how nice that looks. And just cut them apart. And now 2 are going to be really long. So these are going to be the ones that I didn't sew the ends on. And then 2 I've got to cut in half. So I already pre-folded the ends of them to where they'll be like that. Okay, so this one is not going to be cut in half. I want to make sure that I get those separated so I don't cut in half the wrong ones and leave the right ones, because I did something differently at the ends. I didn't fold them in under the ends on the ones I'm not cutting. So anyway, I had grabbed the wrong ends. So I left them raw on the ones because those are the ones I'm going to sew in with the ties. Now these, it said for you to take and fold them in half. Fold them in half and cut. Okay, that's 2. And then there's this one. I almost didn't make this video. I was sitting there making it, and I'm sitting there thinking, that's crazy. I just bought a brand new machine. You need to be sewing your first project and videotaping it. So that's why I flipped it on and started videotaping. That's why you didn't see me cut out the pattern. But, okay, so there's that. So those are prepared, and that is actually the next step, is that I've got to go position these to where I can sew them onto the gown. I'm going to reposition the camera. So before I start serging the sides together, that's what I need to do. So let me position you to where you can see. All right, so I'm going to lay this out, and there's her cute little mask that's going to go with it. She buys this. She wears my mask. So her mom uses a lot of my masks. All right, so this is the one with the fold on it. That's the one with that. So that's not the one I use. This is the one I have the pattern directions on. Nope, that's not it either. This will tell me where to, because I forgot to notch it. All right, so I never can figure out how these things work. All right, so there's 2 on each side of it. Okay, so this is my size 10, 12 pattern. So if I lay these pieces. All right. Try to figure out. All right, so this is going to be the side of it. However, just kind of like not figured out something. I'm trying to figure out which one the long ones are going to go to. My inclination is this is what I had planned for it to go to, is to go in on the side seam. So this is where I'm going to put this, is on the side seam. That's just where I'm going to put it. And I'm going to need some pins. I reorganized everything today, and now I don't know where anything is. Y'all ever done that? Well, if nothing else, here's some clips. I'll just use the clips. And that will work too. All right. So then I'll put the short one at the next location. And see, this doesn't make any sense because you're supposed to have 6. I have 6, and it's going to have me using 8. I'm going to skip this one right here because I'm wrapping that one. I'm going to do this. You know, if I make it and I do it wrong, I can always fix it. That's the thing about sewing, is that you made it, you can fix it. And that one's going to go all the way around. I haven't figured that one out. You know what? I think one goes inside. You know, I do have directions. Okay, so lay the front piece, gown piece, on a flat surface with the right side facing up. Place one back gown piece on top of it. Oh, that's why I can't figure out what I'm doing. I'm doing it all wrong. Okay. Remember, I said I never made this before. So this is my first time using my cover stitch. This is my first time making this pattern. So let's take this off. One back on, right sides together. All right, right sides together. All right, the right sides are together. I'm thinking one of these sets might go inside the gown. All right, right sides together, edges to edges. Okay. So the next step is, okay, place one back gown piece on the top right side together, lining up the armholes. Okay, I did that. Then place the second back piece on the gown, two, and they will overlap as shown. Now take 3 of your ties and pin to the raw ends pin the raw ends in place according to the fabric markings in the photo to the left. Notice that 2 ties will be attached between layers of the left of the gown. On the right side of the gown, 1 tie will be attached on the very top, not between the layers, so it will end up being inside the gown. Okay, so that answered that question. So this one goes, all right, so there's one that goes right there. All right. All right, so that's 2, okay? The next one, I know I want to put the long ones on the bottom, on the outside, because I want them to get tie around. I want it to tie around her waist. Directions are made for when you don't have the different machines that I have. They give you extra steps to do so that you can finish it off nicely. And if you don't have the extra machines, those patterns are very nice and they tell you what to do next. But because I have the machine, I don't have to do those steps. And if you have a serger, even without a cover stitch machine, you don't have to do some of those steps, because if you serge, do just like what I'm doing, and you could just go right over there and do straight stitch right on top of this, and that will be perfectly fine. But I'm going to make it a little bit more fancy since I've got that machine and I want to test it out. I'm going to do the cover stitch because I can. And where was the neck? There it is. This is going to be where the tricky part is, because it's not going to naturally want to go the way I want it to go, but I'm going to force it. It'll be all right. So I have to just adjust, and you would have to do the same thing if you wanted to do this. You just have to adjust how much you're turning under when you get to the curve. And you don't have to turn, that way it's still. Because the thing about it is, it's kind of naturally on the bias. So it does kind of give and stretch. This is hot. Get your hand out of the way. All right. So I have that done. Now I'm going to go back over to the cover stitch machine. I'll start using this cover stitch when I do the scrub caps also. When you're doing the top stitching around, it'll be really cute. It'll be really pretty. A nice finished edge. All right, so the problem with this cover stitch is that I forget all the time that you have to start upside down. You have to sew up. It's like you're blindly stitching. But you can feel it. This is the reason why I went ahead and did the serger on top of it, so that this is more of just a finished look. Can't wait for y'all to see this. Okay, so now that is pulled, and I'm going to clip it off right there. Okay, now I just want you to see how sweet is that neckline. I mean, that it doesn't get any better. Man, that looks so good. Okay, now let's do all the rest. Like so. We'll go slow. You don't want to break your needle, because you know that's already stitched on there really well. All right, and here's where I'm going to get to this corner again. Pick up my foot. I'm going to turn it. And I'll tuck this again. You do have to have your needles in the up position. You always have to do this little thingy right here. All right. I'm still going to do the same thing with this. Tucking it. Hope you can see it. Put it on my needle. And then I'm going to tuck it. And pull it through. Trim off the extra. And where's the other side? Oh, see, I didn't start on that, so I don't have to do that side. Oh yeah, I did. There it is. I think I need to find out if it's okay for you to do this, but I think I need to start my stitching, not put my fabric underneath so far, because I feel like that I'm losing some of the stitches. Pull it through. Pull it down there like that on that side. I don't like that at the top right there. Yep, that's perfect. Okay. Okay, so let me just show you real quick. I gotta plug you in before you die because it just said I had a low battery. So before I move any further, I need to put you on the charge. Okay, so I'm gonna lay this and I'm gonna go iron this back flat again, but it really is, it turned out very nice. Look. Okay. All right, you're gonna have to go on the charger. All right, so now I'm going to iron the hem down. And I'm also trying to iron the seams down on the inside of it and iron them flat. This is so cute. All right, I'm gonna leave you plugged in. I'm gonna come over here and cover stitch the hem now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the seam where the sleeve is, and I'm going to serge that. The arm seams. All right, now come over here. See that or not? I'm going to do the hem. Now I'm going to cover stitch the hem on the sleeves. I'm going to just tell y'all, this is amazing because I will just tell you one of the things, I love making children's clothing, but one of the biggest thing I hate about making children's clothing or any clothing is I hate hemming. And hem is done and it's beautiful. Hem is done. That is so awesome. All right, so now to put sleeves on, put snaps on. That's it. So one of the things that I will tell you about sewing is this. When you do sew, you want to try to work your way out from the seam because that's the one thing that you want to match up with. So I like my seams to match, and that is where that seam is. So I want to put a clip there for sure. And then I'm going to use pins. New pin system. I need to get a new pin system. All right. So then this, I'm not sure how that went. That doesn't even fit. I'm gonna be mad if this doesn't work out. At this point, I finished it up, added the snaps, and here's the finished gown. Thanks for watching.